and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
And I'm Will.
And today we will be discussing a lot. We will be discussing a lot of stuff. We're going to be talking about news that has happened with Power Morphicon, all the stuff that dropped there. We're also going to be talking about the 3 episodes that Netflix has released of Power Rangers Dino Fury. And that's about it. I was about to say and, but no, that's it. So we're going to be talking about those things.
We are doing quite a bit of talking, so don't think that is it. And it's only going to be like a 3-minute episode. It's not.
Oh no, they like with the stuff that I just named, there's a whole lot to talk about. So like definitely I don't think people are going to be thinking, oh, they're just going to just say no. We're going to be talking. We're going to be talking a lot. So sit back and relax and enjoy our rambunctious banter on what is about to happen, on the things that we saw and what we might, our likes and our dislikes, of the stuff that we've seen. Now, just as a reminder, we are on Apple Podcasts, so definitely if you're listening there, make sure you hit those 5 stars. They're also on, if you're listening on YouTube, leave us a comment. Thumbs up if you like it. We appreciate the thumbs up. Hell, we even appreciate the thumbs down. We just appreciate the interaction. It's great. So yeah, definitely, do all the things. We really appreciate it. Last week we did not read any of the comments that we had, and I do apologize. But today we did have one, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. It is from our good pal Derek Hervey. He says, "Sup trifecta grid crew." That's cute. I love it.
So cute. So cute.
Great most recent episode. Dug the review for Unworthy's episode 4 trailer and your film review of the movie Prom. Got to get you all on some noteworthy Ultraman drip. Look into whenever you got downtime these Ultraman series. Ultraman Tiga, Ultraman Max, Ultraman Nexus, Ultraman Meebus, Ultraman Orb. Will not be disappointed. Later crew. Now, the only one that I know of is Ultraman Tiga, and that one was on, for kids TV? Like, I don't know if anybody remembers that one here, but like, that one had like the most sickest theme song. And that's the only reason why I watched it. The theme song was everything. But that's the only one that I remember. Are you all familiar with the Ultraman franchise?
I remember the Ultraman. I just don't know which one I've seen.
Well, I mean, girl, there's hundreds of them. So I wouldn't be able to tell you anyway, because I didn't even watch it like that.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know there was so many.
I didn't either.
Oh, yeah, there's a
whole
franchise.
I remember seeing Ultraman and then thinking that he looked like the main robot on who was it? Oh my god, the one with Joey Lawrence's brother. Was it Superhuman Samurai?
Oh yeah, Superhuman Samurai. Yeah, that one is actually based off of Gridman in Japan. Okay. Just FYI. Okay, but yeah, that one was Gridman. But I mean, I feel like they're very similar because they kind of look alike. Yeah, you're right. They do kind of look alike. But yeah, Ultraman Tiga was on, I think it was for kids TV. This was back when I want to say it was Fox. They revamped it from like Fox Kids and turned it into for kids TV because they had like this show called Mew Mew Power, which was kind of like a Sailor Moon type of show. And they also had Ultraman Tiga on there. And I used to love the theme song because the theme song was it for me, honey. It was everything. And that's really the only reason why I would watch it. The dub was terrible, but the theme song rocks. So, but yeah, like it is actually a thing. So thank you for letting us know that, and we definitely might check it out. So thank you very much for that, Derek. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into our news. Now, have you all been checking out Power Morphicon?
No, I've been busy.
Oh, okay.
All weekend. I wanted to, but you know what? To be honest with you, something about it being online, I'm not really feeling it. I just feel like
that's real.
We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. And then on top of all that, we're glued to a screen like we normally are, right? I mean, no tea, no shade. Don't get me wrong. I know we're doing the best we can to make shit happen, right?
Right.
But I just think overall, it just not the same vibe. But overall, though, I was actually working all weekend, so I couldn't jump online and check out anything. But yeah,
that's real.
Well, what about you, Brennan? Have you been checking it out?
Yeah, I mean, like I've only seen 2 panels, to be honest with you. I've only seen 2.
Which 2?
It was the one with William Shewfelt, Brennan Mejia, and it was the guy who played Godar Maximus. I cannot remember his name to save my life. But he was like, he's been on the show ever since Ninja Storm. And he's just been different characters, voicing different characters throughout the entire show.
No,
not Campbell Cooley. No, not him. But name escapes me, not important. But their panel, I watched theirs. I watched the Ninja Storm reunion panel. I watched that one.
How was that one?
It was interesting. Like kind of like how you were saying about how it's kind of weird with it being online and everything. It was very weird in that regard, because it's like, obviously people are just like, they can't position their cameras right. Some people you can barely hear, kind of like with the Brennan Mejia, William Shewfelt one. You could barely hear Brennan Mejia. Like, I mean, you could barely hear him. I mean, it was like you had to keep like playing with the volume on your TV or computer and like having to like raise the volume up when he starts speaking, and then of course you have to lower it back down when everybody else starts speaking. So it was a lot of that. Yeah, it was a lot of that. But the Ninja Storm one, I want to say Ninja Steel so bad. The Ninja Storm one, it was actually very interesting to hear them, tell their stories, and it was the first time that they've all been together.
Got together, right? So.
Yeah, because like Sally Martin has never been with them normally, so it was really cute to have her there.
I mean, she's all like a big star in New Zealand, so I don't blame her for not putting her time in cons.
I mean, well, yeah, but also too, it's like she's done other cons. She just never did, Power Rangers like that. But I mean, but I mean, it was nice. It was nice. She actually gives somebody said that she gives Patricia Jolie vibes, and she really did. She really did give that like cute little, the cute little vibe. She's so sweet. You can tell she's super sweet. And yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice to see. They did talk about Pua and the guy who played Sensei. I forget his name.
Oh, really?
They did mention him. They did mention them. And it got a little emotional. Jorge, who played Blake.
Yeah.
You could tell he was really getting emotional. And it kind of became a little hard to watch. Not even gonna lie to you. But and not from a bad standpoint at all. It was hard to watch because it was so emotional. But it was good.
Sure. I mean, like the first time they all got together since everything had gone down, and to have 2 members of their team gone. That's gotta be tough,
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, it was nice. It was nice. And I will say though, one thing that I really, really, really wish the moderator would have done, if I were the moderator, this is just me. Now maybe just because I have interviewed professionally, So I guess for me, especially in like more than one person at a time, I've done this before. So I guess for me, I just feel a little more natural doing this. But for me, if I were the moderator of this, I would have repeated the question multiple times so that the other people knew exactly what question I was asking. Because there were several times during that panel where they kept asking, what was the question again? What was the question again? What was the question again? Because you had like 7 people who all had to answer the same question. So it's like, of course, people are going to have their own answers. They're going to divvy away from the actual question and start going into their own thing. So, of course, the question is going to escape everybody at some point. And I mean, everybody had to ask at least once, what was the question? You know what I'm saying? And had I been the moderator, I would have definitely been like, for example, so what did you have to eat today? Lena, go, what do you have to eat today? And then when you finish answering, so Will, what did you have to eat today? And just kind of like, but asking it in like, obviously not in the same way, but asking it in a different way, but asking the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Just so you don't sound crazy.
Just to remind everyone what the question is.
What the question was.
And also, it could also be too, like sometimes some of them may have not actually even heard what the question was.
Exactly. And that was one of the things. Because that's what happened to Sally Martin on one of the times. It was like, oh, what was the question again? I didn't even hear it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. Like, you have to be mindful. You're asking this to 7 people. Oh, so you can't just, ask it one time and expect everybody to remember it.
Oh, for sure. And not even just that, but like, even from my perspective too, when we have more than the 3 of us, I find it's actually kind of hard to hear the other people. Like when we have guests or when we have 2 more guests, that kind of stuff. And we're not even having a big group like they are, right? I find that sometimes I can't even hear the response. So imagine them. Holy moly.
Exactly. And like you said, that, and then not only that, you like people's volumes were lower than others. Like it was, and then like the moderator himself, his volume was a lot lower than theirs. So it was just like, it was a lot. And I'm just like, this could have been so much better had he just, kept repeating himself. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying the guy did a terrible job. He did it, but it was just minor little things. But I'm just like, this would have made this interview go a lot smoother had you done that.
Or they could have opened up a chat where they send a question beforehand or something or actually went along. You know what I mean? Like open up a chat where you're like, this is not the question we're being asked. And then send it so that way everyone sees the question and know what they're answering.
Speaking of chats, so Powermorphicon decided that they wanted to, give people a little preview or whatever, kind of, pitch, whatever is going to be happening next, kind of give a little promo. So they decided that they wanted to go ahead and do one for Walter Jones. Well, this thing was very interesting, I have to say. So Powermorphicon, if you go onto the official Powermorphicon page, you'll see it. I don't think that as of right now they've updated it. They have not. So if you want to look at it, you can, because it's right there. Powermorphicon Online, Walter Jones, not Walter Jones, Walter Jones live, 2 p.m. Powermorphicon chat room. Now, this is where it gets really funny. Hashtag Powermorphicon on live. Panels launch. They didn't even say online, on live. Panels launch not every, ever, hour today. We also have a live chat room on YouTube as well, with I Am Walter Jones joining us later at 2 p.m. today. Now, that @ symbol, oh my God. Who they added was not Walter Jones. He is not the Walter Jones that we know. It was just some random man.
And also, Walter Jones' handle is not even I Am Walter Jones.
It's not. It's not. I'm like, who is this? Harpo, who is this man? Like, what is happening? Like, why did y'all? What is? Why?
I think the whole thing is just embarrassing, considering the fact that they are supposed to be like a specialty in the Power Rangers. They're supposed to know the ins and out of Power Rangers. And I get that's a convention situation, but still, get the handles right.
It's the Power Rangers convention, so they should know everyone, especially one of the originals handles.
Right. Well, not even just that, but you figure that they would be following all the Rangers that have an account.
Exactly. That's my thing.
And that they would have at least double checked beforehand.
Exactly. That's my thing.
Like, you put that down, you don't see that's not him.
I don't think they. I don't know. I don't know what they did, why they did it. I don't know. And then they still haven't updated it or checked it, or maybe maybe no one even caught it. That could be a thing. Maybe nobody caught it. But I'm just like, I just find that like so just ridiculous that, it's so many grammatical errors.
Unprofessional.
It's so unprofessional. And it, okay, don't shoot me for saying this. I understand that Power Morphicon wanted to do a little something, do a little ditty for the people. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't have Power Morphicon when we were supposed to have it. And they wanted to go ahead and they wanted to do a little something. You know what I'm saying? Because, we're pre-COVID, but we're still not out of the woods yet. So they didn't want to, risk people's lives. So they wanted to do something online. I get it 100%. But this thing, just by the two that I saw, it felt very thrown together. And from my understanding, a lot of the things were pre-recorded, except for the Ninja Storm one. I want to say the Ninja Storm one and the Walter ones were live, but all the other panels were pre-recorded. So
facts. I remember seeing something about I think one of the Rangers posted it, and I remember thinking, wait, is Power Morphicon already? And then I realized it was only Wednesday. Like they were like, just finished recording a panel for PMC, and I'm like, just finished recording? What do you mean? You know what? And that's the other thing too. I was under this impression that the whole thing was going to be live.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the whole thing was going to be live.
Right?
But no. I guess because everybody are on different time zones, because there are some people in Australia, there's some people in New Zealand, there's some people, all over the place. So I'm guessing it couldn't be live. That,
but how does that explain Ninja Storm? Like Ninja Storm got Singapore, New Zealand, freaking Vancouver. What else? Like, I don't even know where the rest of the other crew are from. But like, what I'm trying to get at is if Ninja Storm can pull it together, the rest of the crew can pull it together.
Well, I don't know, Lena, because it's almost kind of like everybody's schedules, because you're dealing with different time zones. It also deals with the people who are like willing to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because It's like, maybe some people might not be, depending on the time zone where they are, they may not be able to do it. Where it's like, I can't do it this late because it's like, midnight where I am while all this stuff is going on. Okay, so it's like, fair. I may not want to do it at that time. So that may be it.
But then don't advertise it to make it seem like the whole thing was live. Because because obviously we were under that impression. So it was advertised in such a way that we all thought the whole thing was just live.
Right. I mean, yes. I agree 100% with that. I certainly do. It was the way that it was advertised for sure, because I definitely did not think that it was going to be what it was.
Right. So I don't know. I just find that's fine if if you're not going to do it live because we got to accommodate to everybody, which I completely understand that. Right. But then don't, make sure that people know it's not live. Don't give a time frame. Like, why are you making like what, Friday to Sunday, that kind of thing. Like, it's not even live. So why does it matter?
Right.
It should have just been like, what's it called? Like a PMC week or something like that, where you release a panel a day kind of a thing, but pre-recorded, of course. But I feel like that should have been the case, like that way people would realize, oh, okay, cool. Like, this is not live. That's great. That's fine. And, I'm assuming all the episodes are now on YouTube still, right? So that was the other thing. Like, what was the idea of that? Getting people to sort of sit down, waste their entire 3-day of a weekend to sit in front of a screen that's not even live.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, I completely understand. Exactly where you're coming from, and I agree. I agree. I mean, it's just one of them situations where it's just like, while on one hand, I do understand the guests and their, in their lives, but also too, it's like, okay, if we're gonna do this, like, don't make it almost kind of come off as this is going to be live. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't advertise it as that, because I mean, there were some live things, but for the most part, this whole thing was pre-recorded. For the most part. So I was just kind of like, and to be truthfully honest, I'm not even gonna hold you. I wish all of it was pre-recorded. Yeah. I'm not even gonna hold you, because to me, if you're going to do it, at least have it to where there's time to edit. So, for example, like with the Brennan Mejia one, and this is no tea, no shade to the person who did this, but with the Brennan Mejia one, what I would have done, once again, just being me, if I were to do this, I would have literally went through all of the parts with Brennan Mejia and raised his level. I would have raised his levels so that, and then, try to raise them as much as I can. And maybe this person did do this. I don't know. But try to raise them as much as I can to where it doesn't sound too bad, to where it just sounds really awkward and crazy, but also make it to where somewhat the other person, like, his sound matches. Somewhat close, but it just like, it was like, the other people, William would be talking and he sounds like this, and then when Brennan starts talking, he sounds like this. That's how it sounded. It was that bad. Like, I'm like, yo, I can't hear him, and like, he's having a whole conversation. He sounds like this. He sounds like this, and I'm like, what is going on? And this is pre-recorded. So I'm just like I said, I haven't seen the rest of them, but if all of them were like that, girl. So, I'm hoping all of them aren't like that. I'm going to look at some of the other ones, because I want to look at the other panels, like the Yellow Ranger panel. I want to look at that, obviously.
Right. And that's the other thing. I was looking at I'm on the site now, like the Instagram page, and they're putting dates on when people are supposed to be there. So they're really making it seem like it's live. Because, like, for Hillary Pepper, they're like June 19th and 20th. Well, if this is pre-recorded, why does it matter what day they're there for?
Right.
Oh, and then update for you guys. No one has actually even commented the fact that Walter Jones was spelled wrong and tagged wrong. No one.
I don't think people noticed it. I really don't. I don't think anybody noticed.
Like, it's
I don't
funny.
think anybody noticed.
We got 236 likes at this point. And on Sunday, what day were we on? Sunday
the 20th.
Sunday the 20th. And no one has said anything. No one has mentioned it. No one has commented on it. I noticed it right away when you sent it to me. I didn't read what you said. I just noticed it. I'm like, wow, what the heck?
Oh, terrible. Just terrible. But
Brennan, wow. This is worse than when we were waiting in line when they switched the Power Morpher. Sorry, what they moved it from Pasadena to downtown LA. Was that the case? I can't remember where they moved it. They remember when they moved the panel, the whole entire convention for us, and they were like totally out of whack. We had to wait in line forever to get our passes. And Friday was a wrap for anybody who got early passes. Do you remember that, Dave?
Oh, you're talking about when they moved to gosh,
I
where
can't remember.
Disney is.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't remember the place. But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right? And
Yes.
and I remember thinking like, I feel like this is just as messed up as that. Just as messed
Yeah.
up. Like it's crazy. Like what the heck, you know? I don't know, man. I mean, this is online. Like I just feel like with it being online, they should have been way more organized because exactly like you said, everything was everything for the most part is pre-recorded. So why not set up a session where like kind of like us when you guys hear our interviews, we film this in advance, we edit this in advance, and then we release it when we release it. Nobody needs to know
Exactly.
when we record it.
Nobody needs it. Thank you. Thank you.
You know?
And that's my thing. That's my thing. Is just that like, if they were to just be like, hey, Power Morphicon, this is it, this is the thing, this is happening on these days. Okay, wonderful.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
That's it. Period. And if you really want more viewership, then have it set a time frame. Like, at this time, this is going to be launched, premiere it, throw a big fiasco over it. I don't know, like something.
Well, they did. They
uh,
they kind of did do that. Like in a way, they did kind of send out a little sheet, like a little call sheet of like,
really?
everything that's supposed to, yeah.
Wow.
They did have it where it was like, okay, on this day or at this time, this is supposed to be premiering at this time and blah, 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 blah. So they did do that, but it's just like you said, it's like, if we're going to do it live, then they need to actually, do it live. You know what I'm saying?
Of
Like,
course.
if that's what we're going to be selling.
Exactly.
But that's not what we were selling. There were some things that were released. Now, there were some things that were released on Power Morphicon Online, and there were also some things that were just released. First things first, gotta show some Zio love. You know what I'm saying? Now, I wish they show some love to my girl Tanya, but honestly, I'm terrified of what they're going to do to her because I'm just like, if y'all mess my girl up, I'm going to be pissed. But they did give us a little bit of COG, a little COG action. What do you guys think? Like, we get some retractable faces. We got, different color COGs going on. We got the burnt orange and we got the silver, Like, is it giving what it's supposed to give? What y'all think?
I remember when they gave a preview of the packaging.
Mm-hmm,
I heard some people say COG. I thought maybe, but then what threw me off was what I'm assuming is the open face. Because I was looking at pictures of regular COGs, and then I guess that was part of the picture that they had released. So that threw me off. But
yeah,
I love that they have both versions of the heads and both versions of the two different colors. I like them.
Yeah, I mean, like the part that they posted, which people caught right away, was when they'd open their mouths, and that was when they'd shoot the little things out of their mouths. Like that's the part that they kind of led with, as far as like, oh, teaser, just to kind of throw people off. So that's probably what threw you off, was the open mouth part. But yeah, like, I mean, I think it's cool. Like, to be truthfully honest, I think that they look really good. It to me, like, I love that Zio is getting so much love because obviously Zio is my favorite season. So I love them. To be truthfully honest, I love them. I do wish that the silver one had a little shangling to him, a little shine. I do wish we had a little of that, but I mean, they're cute. They're cute, so I like them. I like them.
I like that there's a 2-pack. So if someone wants to, grow an army of them for display purposes or whatever, it's a little bit easier to do, but I think it's still like $40. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's expensive. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they're a nice little penny, But hey, collectors will do it. Collectors will do it in a heartbeat, especially the people who love posing like the mini of like they'll do like the photography.
Toy photography, yeah.
Yeah, those mugs, they will collect like 4 and 5 boxes of these mugs. So I mean, I'm just like, more power to you. Like, I love it. I love the passion. I love it. Lena, what you think?
Okay, don't hate me, but I don't really care for them.
That's real. That's real.
Is it because you don't like the way they look, or you just don't care?
I just don't care. When they got released, I was like, what is this? What a waste of our money. That was my actual thought. What is this? What a waste of our money.
That's real. That is real. That is real. I mean, listen, I said, I don't mind them. I think they're cool.
I mean, I remember what we talked about a few episodes ago where we're like, well, obviously, if you're gonna have Power Rangers, you're gonna need some evil villains to fight them with, right? So I get that. I just don't feel for them. I don't know. They look like something else, and I can't put my finger on what it is yet, but they remind me of something. But yeah, no, I will have to say though, the whole action figure itself, it is really good looking, for what it is, for what they're trying to accomplish. If only they could do that with the other Rangers. Like, make them just as nice looking, just as dead on, and like almost like a replica. Like, if I didn't realize that this was a toy, I would assume that they've taken this right out of the TV series and like put them on high def.
Well, I think it's easier. It's easier to make a monster than it is a like a human being's likeness, I guess. Obviously it's hard. It's hard to them because of how many misses you've gotten.
I was gonna say, because I mean, I'm not even gonna hold you. Some of like the Marvel stuff, like that, like especially when it comes to the movie toys,
much better.
They are dead smacked on.
Exactly.
Like the Star Wars, dead smacked on. Like, I mean, it is perfect. It is like literally like they have like the faces all the way together.
Yep.
And it's just like with Power Rangers, it's like, hell, even like the helmets, like we've seen like with the Red Ranger helmet for Jason, it looked terrible. And you have to go through several reversions of it, like the Red Sentry and the metallic armor, for them to finally get it right.
Thank you. And that's what I was just gonna say. I agree with you 100%, Brennan. That's exactly what I was gonna say when he said no, it's easier to make, cogs or like monsters versus humans. I'm like, no, that's not true. They even mess up the smallest things, like the colors. Remember SPD, what was his name? Sam, they messed him up. They messed up his color. Come on. That wasn't even like the actual figurine. They just messed up his paint color.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, I'm just kind of like, all right, guys, like, whatever. Like, I just feel like sometimes like Hasbro just does not show the people any love. Like, no, they just don't be showing us love.
And you know what I'm beginning to think? I'm beginning to think that they have different teams like rotating. Like, no,
I think so too. I think so too.
We need consistency.
I think so too. Because I mean, there are times where, like, for example, the metallic armor, if they did not look so dad blasted shiny, like if they just colored them regular, they would be spot on perfect. They will be spot on perfect because their helmets are exactly correct. They are correct. But for some odd reason, it's like it took them so many tries to get it right. And it's like, come on, y'all. Like, whatever. Moving right along to the Super 7 stuff. So, we got our Goldar Super 7, and we also got a Megazord, of Mighty Morphin Megazord. Super 7 toy. Now, the Mighty Morphin Megazord one, you can actually take the pterodactyl chest piece off and you'll see the Rangers, sitting in the cockpit.
Which I think
which
it is
cool.
so stinking adorable.
It's super cute.
I'm here for that. That is so stinking adorable.
It is super cute. I really like it.
Me too. I'm like, that is so cute.
I think it's good for maybe more of a casual fan because for display purposes. Because obviously it doesn't have the you're not able to take them apart or anything like that. Of course, like the nitpicker in me is like the cockpit.
They were in the head. Yeah.
But
I felt that way too when I saw it. I was like, this is cute. I mean, they're in the chest. This is cute and everything, but they actually were in the head. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I can't be too picky. I mean, I can, but I'm not.
I mean,
it's cute.
I love how Will's like, it's for the casual fans. Can I be honest? If you're a casual fan, you're not dropping what? That's probably 50, 60. How much do you think that's going to be? Like $100?
Oh, yeah, probably not. I don't think it's 100. I would think you were right around the ballpark of like 50. I want to say.
So
because I know Goldar is 55.
Yeah, okay, so it must be more than Goldar or roughly. Because like this, so even as a casual fan, I don't see a casual fan just dropping this kind of money because it's still quite a bit of money.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, like I think for the most part, like I do think that it's more of a collectible piece. Like, and no one is going to be out here trying to like pose them in different ways and stuff. No one's doing that. Not with that. Especially for the simple fact that all it can move is just his arms and that's it, child. Jeez, ain't nobody doing nothing with that. It's definitely a collectible. But a particular type of fan is going to be going after this. This is not something that I think just your average fan who collects Power Ranger toys, I don't think they're going to go after it. Like, it's going to be your hardcores, like they're the ones that this is targeting. Which, I mean, hey, you like it, I love it. Goldar, I think, to be truthfully honest, I like his face a lot more than I like the actual Lightning Collection face.
I agree, but can I also please say, why do we need 2 Goldar faces?
I mean, listen, you might want to have him snarling, and you might want to have him with his mouth closed.
I mean, he doesn't even look like he's snarling.
He's talking trash, like he did in that episode where he had the little box with the power coins, where he was talking all that shit to the Rangers when he took their power coins.
Next coin, you fool!
I do like him better, but I just don't think the extra head was necessary.
I like it. I like the little extra head.
I like him a lot. I love that they gave him so many things, from 2 really cool moments, like the one that I mentioned, Return of the Green Ranger, when the Rangers gave him his coins for their parents. The fact that they gave him the little box full of power coins is really cool. And then he has the badges of darkness from my favorite episode, Mighty Morphin Mutants. That was really cool, I thought.
And like, they actually, to be truthfully honest, like everything is actually very detailed, because like the badges of darkness are very detailed. Because we all know they easily could have just gave us some gray circles and was like, here you go, badges of darkness, honey. But they didn't. Like, they tried to add a little detail. Same thing with the box with the power coins. Like, they tried to add a little detail to them.
They did.
So
they did. I'll give them that.
That's cool. You can tell with all the detail they try to add. They was like, you definitely gonna pay for this.
See, that's
you gonna pay for this, honey.
But you see, that's exactly it. They are going the extra mile for Goldar. They're going the extra mile for the cogs. But hello, go the extra mile for the actual Rangers.
Right. I agree. I listen. I'm with you.
I bet you they probably spent way more time trying to get those little coins perfect.
Yes, of course.
Oh my God. Right?
Listen, they said you got to get the bang for your buck, honey. They said, listen, honey, we are not going to be selling just no rinky-dink little toy for $55. Now, if we wanted to sell this thing for a little piece of $19.99, then you're gonna get all the blandness, honey. But if we're gonna sell this in 55, we're gonna make sure that you get your money's worth. So, it is what it is. But I really like it. I really do. I really like Goldar. I like Goldar a lot. Actually, a lot more than the Megazord, to be honest. I thought Goldar looked amazing. And lastly is Renegade Game Studios. Now we all know, obviously, Heroes of the Grid. That's the little, the little board game situation. They all do different little Kickstarters. So if you've been participating with the Kickstarter, great. There's more for you to contribute, and there's more for you to, get your different expansion packs. So they have a new Kickstarter campaign that is starting June 22nd. So, you have the Dino Thunder pack, which includes red, blue, yellow, and white, and one evil Dino Thunder White Ranger, 4 Zords, and 1 Megazord card. For the Ranger Ally pack, it will include Hyperforce Green Joshi, pun on Yoshi, Zane, Silver Space Ranger, Ryan Mitchell, Titanium Ranger, Cam Watanabe, Green Samurai Ranger, RJ James, Jungle Fury Wolf Ranger. It also includes 5 cards: the Hydra Hyperzord, the Mega Winger, the Max Solar Zord, the Samurai Star Chopper, and the Animal Wolf Spirit Zord, and 1 Megazord card, the Lightspeed Solar Zord. Also, it includes the villain pack is the Dark Turn. It has 1 Nemesis, Zeltrax, 2 monsters, Ecliptor and Elsa, the 2 bosses, Astronomer, and Mesogog. Now, get into this art, though, because the art I always love. Like, I always love the art of these things. The only one that I was kind of side-eyeing was that villain pack. That villain pack? I'm like, the Dino Thunder people, they
make Elsa look like I don't even know.
Who is that? Who is that?
She look like Poison Ivy, but with black hair.
I don't even know who that is.
Like, why is she green? Why is she green?
Like,
but the biggest one is Mesogog, because
his Mesogog,
freaking duck.
He looks like a Ninja Turtle character. Like, he looks like a Ninja Turtle villain. Like, he really does. Wow. Like, I don't know. He looks like an alligator.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just like, who is this guy? This is not Mesogog. Who is this?
It's reminded me when they took liberties for the what was it? The Mega Battle game with some of the villains, and they look completely different.
So, And I mean, don't get me wrong. Now, with the liberties that they did take with Astronomer, I don't remember Astronomer's little headpiece being all the way down, covering her entire forehead and dipping into her nose. I don't remember this. But we still know that it's Astronomer, honey. We still know that it's her. But you could not tell me that this was Elsa.
Elsa looks like she came from Hotel Transylvania.
Child, Elsa looks like she was Japanese. Like, I don't know. Like, she looks like a Japanese femme fatale.
So
like,
like a
I'm
Bratz
just
doll kind of.
she
Right?
does. She does look like a Bratz doll.
She does, and that's like I feel like she could be like a character in Hotel Transylvania where she's like a vampire, and yeah, I could see that.
She
Oh,
meld them all
my
together.
God! You remember the Monster High? She looks like a Monster High.
Yes,
She does.
yes.
Like, I'm just like, what is this? Yo, don't do this. Don't do this. Everybody else looks like, I mean, Ecliptor, we all know that that's Ecliptor. Like, that's obvious. Like, that's Ecliptor. You know, and we know that that is Zeltrax. And like I said, even with Astronomer and her weird ass headpiece, like, we still know that that's her. But these other two, woo, child. Like, ooh, child, they look bad. So I'm just like, I'm not here for it. I'm not. Yeah, but the art for everybody else looks great. I thought the art looked pretty freaking dope. So, I mean, you know, it's given. Like, I actually thought that it was pretty decent. Loved it. Speaking of the things that are pretty decent and loved, we are going to go ahead and mosey on to the main event, which is episodes 9, 10, and 11 of Dino Fury.
Oh, I have so many things to say, but can I just get like a quick rating as an overall episode from you guys before we jump right into it? Just a number. Don't give details as to why you said it. Just give me a number.
Overall?
One
for
to
all
five.
three?
For each?
Overall, for all three.
For all three, I can tell you now, I would say 1 through 5 for all three, it would be a 4.
Okay, well.
A 2.
I will have to go with Will there, 2.5.
Really?
Yes.
Well, let's talk.
Okay,
so,
okay.
All right. So we're just going to hit major points, major things that we like, disliked, you know, keep it right on pushing. For number 9, episode 9, you know, quick synopsis. So everybody is going on a cute little trip in the woods, camping, you know, it's real cute. It's given. They also encounter the bad guys who were trying to cut them off and cut off their communication systems and make sure that they cannot teleport so that they won't know that they're out hunting for Sporix. Very clever plan. Now, this is an Ollie episode. Tell me one thing you liked and give me one thing you disliked.
I dislike Ollie's overall attitude with, like, you're going camping. You don't need technology. You need very limited. So I didn't like that whole facade of him like, oh, but you need it, right?
Okay.
What I did like is how Amelia tries so hard to be supportive. So hard to be supportive. So hard. She really did. And I thought it was cute when she said he was adorable when he was, you know, going on about when he was proud about his, you know, technology that he invented. So it makes me wonder, like,
his little arrow.
Yeah. So I'm like, is that going to be something more? Or
of course.
So that I like. What about you, Will?
Okay.
I liked it was weird to see, but I liked how excited Ollie was about sharing his technology with his friends. That was we're used to seeing him be snarky, sarcastic, but this was like a totally different side. I've never really seen him giddy like this, so I like that. Something that I didn't like was, all right, so it was established that the balloon stopped the Rangers from teleporting and from, you know, any sort of connection, cell phones, the communicators. It didn't stop them from morphing that we knew of. So why didn't they just morph and shoot the balloon out of the sky?
Well,
They never established that they couldn't morph.
Good point. That is actually a very good point.
So
that is a very good point.
Why the hell don't you just morph? What are you doing?
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. I actually did not think of that. So thank you, because I didn't even think of that. I guess for me, the one thing that I liked, I loved the part, like the teamwork aspect of them, like actually, you know, working together and like actually, you know, coming up with the thing to shoot the balloon down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I really like that, especially watching Ollie take control and be like, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. Like, I really like that. That was really cute. I enjoyed that. And also, well, that's two things. Nope, move on. And the thing that I disliked was in the same vein of what Will was saying, but what I did not like is the fact that, okay, you see that the villains are trying to raise a balloon for whatever nefarious reasons. They're not there just out there celebrating a birthday party, kind of like what Mucus was saying. Like they're not out there celebrating anybody's birthday party. You see them trying to put something into the sky, shoot that crap down. Like, why would you demorph? And then be like, well, we need to contact Solon. For what? You are in front of the bad guys' nefarious plan. Just go ahead and shoot the thing down. I don't understand. Bitch. Don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, why would you not just shoot it down while you're there?
And not even just that, but what I want to say too, I thought that was hilarious, is that these monsters are sassy. Get back to your little camping trip. You don't have to worry about it. I'm like, okay.
Yo, the next episode, oh my God, that monster was wow. When you talk about sassy.
Okay, but child, listen, I just there was a lot of things about episode 9 that just made me go, like, and that was the only one that made me actually go a lot. You know, there was just so much that was happening that I'm just like, what are we doing? You know, like major points from this episode that I really just that I feel like we should talk about is just like, first of all, like the whole Ollie thing with all of his devices. Lena, you mentioned this. I'm with you to a certain to a certain point, but I am with you majority. I feel like, because like Ollie is supposed to be their tech person, right?
Right.
And he's supposed to be the guy that from day one we knew he is all about technology. He loves it. You know, he eats, he breathes it. Like, that is his thing. What I wish that the show would have done is give him more nuance as a character, because we know that there's multiple sides to all of these people. So, and we've pretty much seen multiple sides of all of them, except for him, because he only got one episode, which was to actually learn about him, which was the first episode.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the second episode, kinda, but that was mainly more so him and his mom.
Yeah.
Not really so much him.
Right.
So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, give us a little more than just he likes tech.
I mean, and not even just that though, too. The other thing that I was kind of annoyed with was the fact that they tried jam so much that he likes tech in this particular episode. I felt like it would have been better had he like exhibit different things over the year, like over the episodes, you know, like different things that he's invented that has helped the group somehow, or even the slightest bit. Or something he's invented is now coming back to this episode or that episode back to save their rear end. So it's just sort of, so I think for me, like, I get that he's a tech guy. I'm not against him being a tech guy. What I was against was the overload. That was not necessary all in one episode.
I agree. I don't understand if he's the tech guy. Why haven't we seen more of that yet? I don't
right.
Understand.
That's my issue. That's my overall issue. You know, it's like, they waited till it's an Ollie episode to want to just overload us with, oh, he's all about tech. He's all about tech. He's all about tech. And it's like, we've had how many episodes? Like up until this point, like 8 episodes to kind of flesh out, they could have had him do, little things each episode being like, hey, he's about tech. He's about tech.
Exactly. And on top of that, why is he not working with Solon to like
fix
things to improve the Ranger team, kind of like how Billy used to, like Billy, we created this, we did this, we did that. Oh, we did this.
Right. I agree. I agree with that 100%. Actually, Lena, like they could have had, when during times that we didn't see him, it could have been easily, they could have chopped it up to them being like, oh, he's just at the base with Solon, just like chopping it up or, doing whatever, instead of us just not ever seeing him and ever figuring out what the hell he's doing on his downtime. Like, because when he's not there, it's like out of sight, out of mind. We don't know what the hell this boy doing. You know what I'm saying? So It's like, they could have easily just reduced it to, oh, he's with Solon. Something. Just to kind of let us know, okay, this is what he's doing. But that's one thing, Lena. And also in the middle of the tech thing, what I did not like as well is the fact that everybody jumped down
his throat,
Ollie's throat.
Yeah.
I did not like that.
Yeah.
That was mean.
It was very mean. And I'm like, these are your friends?
But still.
It was very mean. And I'm just like, first of all, no tea, no shade. No tea, no shade. But Javi and Izzy, I love you, girl. But y'all don't know him like that. Y'all weren't here since day one to form an opinion like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it could have been off-screen stuff of more.
Wow, we only worried about on screen. I don't care what's going on off screen. We only talking about on screen.
Oh my
God. Y'all don't know him like that. Y'all don't know him, and y'all just sitting there like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Like, excuse me? Like, I can see if Zato and Amelia had, like, if Amelia was digging in that ass, oh, it would have been. If she was the only one just like dogging him out, yes. Or hell, you know what? Here is what it was missing. What I feel like it was missing was levels. I feel like it was missing levels. What I feel like they were missing was, you should have had at least somebody being like, you know what? I don't really know if this is going to work, but you know what? I'm with you. Or at least have somebody actually seem like they care, and don't want to just leave him by himself. You know what I'm saying? But, probably had Zato being like, come on, we got to head back. And they're like, well, maybe it might work, and it's just like, no, come on, let's go. And it's like, all right, I guess, something.
I'm surprised Amelia didn't try to like stay behind.
Even if it could have been Amelia, somebody, but it just felt like everybody was just all dogging him.
That to piggyback off of you, what if they had a situation where they did let him try something out and then it didn't work, but then he tried, like he just needed another chance, and then everybody's like, oh no, we can't do it.
Right. Yeah, even that could have even worked, because at least we would have seen them at least try to support him through it, beforehand, and then was like, yeah, no, we just gonna head back, and then him, trying it out on his own, or having someone stay behind and be like, you know what, or hell, even have Amelia be like, you know what, I'm gonna stay behind and help him, and then they figure it out together. Or, something. But, it just felt like everybody was attacking him. And it's like, come on, like, way to go for believing in your homeboy. Like, I mean, it was just like, man, this boy, like, all his tech failing, like, bump him. He's supposed to be all about tech and his stuff whack. Move on, like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, come on, y'all. That's really messed up. So that was like, that's one major point I wanted to like touch on. The other major point that I feel like is something that is really just like pertinent is just like, how do y'all feel about Jane and Jay Borg in this episode? That whole little thing. What did y'all feel? How did y'all feel about that?
Give me a refresher on what happened. Because I remember they did outrageous.
It's not even all that important. But anyway, but no, what happened was they supposed to be the whole coin situation where you know, they're standing by the thing or whatever, and you know, they're talking, and then whatchamacallit pops up, and then they see the sporks, and they're like, oh crap, well, let's call somebody. Let's, you know, call the hotline, and they couldn't get through. So then they saw a payphone and was like, oh, well, let's try the payphone. And obviously the payphone didn't work either. So there was no way for them to, you know, call and alert that, you know, the sports was there. So yeah, that's basically in a rough shell. That's basically what it was.
I actually laughed at that. I laughed at when Jay Borg, after she put the money in the yeah, and then it didn't work, and then she was like, right? Well, I want my money back.
No. She said, well, I want a refund.
I want a refund.
A refund.
Because
that actually made me laugh.
That's a Karen way of saying it. I want a refund.
Child, to be honest, when it's very important, when it contributes something to the actual plot, I love it. I love it when it contributes to the plot. When it's not contributing to the plot, however, it's like, ugh. But this little antic, I kind of felt like it contributed to the plot, but it was one of those situations where I was just kind of like, didn't care for it. I don't know, like I didn't care for it. I was like, this is one of those situations in Dino Fury where, yes, the comedy is very specific, but I was like, I don't really care for it. Now, of the 3 episodes, it is the better done one. But I agree. I just didn't care for this one. Like, it was just like, oh, okay. Now, I did laugh with the whole refund joke. I did laugh at that. I thought that was hilarious. But I don't know. It just kind of like, oh, okay. It's like, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was just kind of like, oh, they're there. But yeah, how like anybody else? Like, how did y'all feel overall about? No, I was gonna say about the fight. The fight with the monster of the day. Like, how did y'all feel about that?
Oh, I mean, honestly, that whole episode, I completely don't remember it at all.
That's real. That is real. Like, that is real. The only reason why I remember it is because I had to rewatch it. But
I only remember Jay Borg like wanting a refund, and I laughed because exactly like Will said, I thought it was funny, but the rest, I don't remember. And I was focused. I was watching it.
Same.
But I don't.
That is real. That is real.
I really like the makeshift crossbow, the giant crossbow. I like that. But when it came to the actual fighting, it's certain things that are I tune out of. That was one of them. For this episode, that was one of them, and for sure the Megazord battle. I totally tuned out of that.
That's real. Yeah. That's real. I mean, I did enjoy that finally Black and Green got to fight Void Knight for the first time. I did enjoy that.
That was cool that they had the initial 3, the first 3 were introduced to do the Megazord, and then Javi and Izzy, they fought Void Knight. I like that they didn't necessarily need everyone in the Megazord, and then the other team members got to do something on the ground. We've seen that before, kind of, sort of. I like that. That was different. I like when they switch it up a bit.
Yeah. Like I actually enjoyed that a lot. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, that's actually kind of cool. And also too, Zato does make a reference at the very beginning of the episode being like, well, y'all never met Boy Knight. Well, this is your chance to, and they actually square off with him, like they square up. So it's like, okay, even though he did, hand him their asses quite a bit, but he sure did get them their asses, but like at the same time, like I thought that was kind of cool that they actually got to fight him, so I thought that was cool. Anything else from this episode that y'all want to talk about? Because I know Lena is just like, she is over it, honey. She is like, I am done, honey.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on to episode 10. So the synopsis. How to say that? The synopsis of episode 10 is, Zato is like, phone home, he's like trying to get in touch with his people, trying to sing the song of his people. He ends up being tricked by a new villain named Slither, who is voiced by Campbell Cooley. We know that voice. He is voiced by Campbell Cooley, and yeah, like he almost Slither almost steals the sparks.
Yes.
And also, we find out that that Solon got hands. So once again, I said Solon got hands.
Oh yeah.
Like, she can throw hands when she needs to.
Yeah.
So
I love her. We need more of her. Like genuinely, she is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And she's got sass. Can we have her? Can we like have a lightning collection of her with all the voices and all the sass that comes with it? Like,
oh my gosh, I would love it.
Give her to me. I want her in my life. I want to press her and be like, Solon, do you think I should, I don't know, go to work today? And Solon says, nah, take the day off. Like something stupid, I would love it. I would love it.
I don't know, Lena. Do you need money?
Yes, exactly, right? Exactly. Oh my God, yes. Do you need money? Do you have bills to pay? Well, then I suggest you go to work.
I suggest you get off your ass and go to work.
Yes.
That would be lovely. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Hasbro, hit us up. Hit us
right?
up.
Give us our coin. We gave you that idea.
We gave you that idea.
I could see her actually cursing like in real life, which is like a hilarious thought.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, Solon will be cursing everybody out. I love it. I love it.
Right? She'd be like, fuck, Will. You just like Starbucks, but do you like money? Go make the money.
I feel like Solon will be calling everybody all sorts of bees.
Oh,
bitch,
God.
bitch. Like, the way she was probably wanting to cuss Zato out in this episode. Oh my God. So speaking of that, so one thing you like, one thing you dislike. Will, go.
I like two things. One of them was the deep cut of Solon being a Levi Weston fan, and the other one was Slither. All the shit that Slither, all the shit that they were talking. That was hilarious.
Oh yeah, all of the narrating his own fight choreography.
getting slashed up and then just taking it and then smacking Zato and saying that's all you got.
Okay. Love it. Lena?
For me, I hate how Zato was so quick to trust the fact that this person was really genuinely from his home planet. I understand he's homesick. I understand he's trying to find his people. I get all that, right? And I guess like being a ranger and, all the stuff that he has to do in order to protect Earth, protect, like his base and all that. I just figured he would have been one of those people that would have been more harassed on who this person is and not trust him right off the bat, given the fact that he knows that there are villains out there, that he knows that they can, shape shift. So it's just sort of annoying me that he was so quick to want to trust that and not even question it. Not even question like anything at all, that really kind of irritated me. I wish that he had questioned it just a little bit more and not give Solana like a hard time when she was genuinely questioning it herself.
That's real.
And yes, and I do like the fact that Solon is a Levi fan.
Oh my God.
It's like probably just the whole revelation that the night of RAFCON wasn't for real. Like I would have liked it better if they didn't let us know that there was a shape-shifting Sporks beast, and like we really thought that it was someone from RAFCON, and then we would have found out later on that they were the shapeshifter. Like kind of like that the Lost Galaxy episode where Maya thought that her best friend from Marinoy had found her in Terra Venture. Like I thought that was a little bit better.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Because we knew that wasn't really anybody from RAFCON, because they had already showed us that they could shapeshift. So that was kind of lame.
Not even just that, but did we also get a clue that everyone from RAFCON was essentially almost black?
Yeah.
That's a good
point.
Like when I saw that, I was like, I'm not trying to sound racist here. I'm really not. But she white.
It's literally what you saw.
RAFCONians are black, okay?
Like
we are coming off of Juneteenth. Like we know what time it is.
Right. So I'm just saying, like when she showed up white, I was like, I don't want to say it. I was hoping one of you guys would say it, but you guys didn't. So I'm like, I'm just gonna say it.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. She's not black.
Listen.
So that's a big question. What?
Listen, that is hilarious, but you are not wrong. One thing that I liked about this episode that I really enjoyed is the whole like everything Solon in this episode. I freaking enjoyed, like Solon and Slither. They were like the stars of this episode. I loved every moment of it. I loved every freaking moment. I loved how snappy Solon was. Like she was giving it. Like I can tell you now, Solon will be a black girl. Period. If she was human, she would definitely be a black woman. Like I mean, she was like, So if you really from RAFCON, read my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what? Loved it. Slither with all of his narrations. Just like, how did he say it? Noble sacrifice. When he kicked that the foot soldier into Zato. Like I thought that was hilarious. I actually laughed out loud. I thought that was great. So yeah, I loved all of that. The thing I disliked about this episode, I'm like you, Lena. I disliked the parts with Zato being so quick to trust her, but I understood why. I still disliked it, but I understood why. And the reason why I was like, ooh, I don't like this, but I get it. The reason why he was so quick to want to just believe her was because he's probably homesick and he wants to see his people, but also too, remember, let's not forget at the very beginning, she displayed the same abilities as Zato. So it would not be a stretch for him not to believe her. You see what I'm saying? Because
Oh, I agree.
She definitely, did the whole reading, acting as if she was reading, reading the minds and all, doing all the things. She definitely it displayed that. So like I could see him being like, oh yeah, she's definitely Rathconian. I can believe that.
And you know what? And I agree with you 100%, like 100. I think again, he was just so quick to believe that, kind of like, with magicians and everything like that. Like anyone else, I'm trying to think of like a regular profession. Illusions is what you want to see it, right? Is what they want you to see that.
It's right. And it's also what he wanted to see too.
Exactly. So I think
he wanted to believe it.
Exactly. And I think that was the other thing where I was surprised that, again, like given in the world that he lives in and given his role in this world, that I was just surprised by how quick he was to believe that. Like, I understand completely what you're saying, because it's I guess it's just a power that only his planet has it, right? But then it makes me wonder, if his planet exists, what makes you think other planets don't exist either?
This is real. This is also real. I agree. And I mean, we've also seen other planetary beings, other extraterrestrials who have displayed telepathic abilities.
Exactly.
I mean, we've seen Andros, we've seen Trip. So we've seen all of these people, display these abilities. So, it would make sense to be like, she may not be Raconian, even though she has the antenna, which are also weird. But hey,
right.
But still, it could have been anything, So yeah, exactly. I agree.
Exactly. And given the fact that he's been billions, like, we have more or less established that he could be one of the first Rangers, right? So given that too, I was surprised he was so quick to believe that,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Now the one part that I was like, I wasn't sure how to feel about is the part where he was able to read Slider's mind.
Yeah.
Was not sure about that. I'm like, how are you able to do that? And Slider is a robot. But of course, it was infused with the Sporix beast. So maybe it was reading the organic material of the Sporix. Maybe it was that. But I just was kind of like, this is weird. Like, how is he able to read a robot's mind? I guess it was like he was reading the actual Sporix after it infused with robot and, all of that jazz. Like he was, maybe he was reading the Sporix's mind. But I was just really confused by that. I was like, this is kind of weird. So that was like the only part that really kind of just made me go,
Yeah. It was quite interesting. Like, I didn't know how I feel about that. And then the other thing is too, with their base, I am very surprised too how open and like how open and welcoming they were to a random stranger to their base. Because that was the other thing too. Because I remember when that happened, I remember thinking, yeah, but okay, like, you don't really actually know this person. How do you know that they're not evil? And even if they are Raconian, like, let's say they really are from that planet, who's to say that they're innocent?
Right.
Like, we've seen freaking SPD gone bad.
Right.
So that was the other thing that made me wonder, because I'm like, how do we know that this person's actually a really good person? All they said was they wanted the sporks, and they're saying that they're going to take it, they're going to destroy it. But how do we know that for a fact? They haven't shown proof. They haven't shown ID. First of all, there was no ID, okay? There was no FBI. I'm from the planet Ralphcon. Like, this is who I am. Come on.
Girl, there was no ship.
There was no...
Like, she just teleported in like, hey, girl, hey.
Right?
And it's like, where? And she's like, oh, it's on my ship. Girl, we just seen you teleport behind a cloud. Where is your ship, girl? Like, I'm just sitting here like,
yeah, right. Exactly. There's literally no physical proof who this person is.
Right.
And so I was like, where's her ship? What did she say? What happened to her ship was?
No, she didn't even say what happened to it. She just kept saying, "Oh, we have our tech is so great. Our tech is so advanced." And it's like, so your ship is invisible? Your ship is a cloud? Like, what are you talking about? Like, girl. She just kept saying, our technology is so advanced, you wouldn't understand. It's like, okay, girl, but where is your ship? Like, where is it?
And you know what I'm also surprised about? Out of all people, that Ollie was very welcoming.
Because I thought that for sure Ollie was going to be questioning, like, okay, where is it? Where's your tech? I want to see. Right. You know, but Ollie ain't saying nothing.
Nothing. I thought he was going to be like, oh, like, can I see the new technology? I'm interested. Like, maybe we can use some of that here. Maybe we can upgrade our system. Nothing.
Not like, a doggone thing.
There was just so many wrongs with this episode. I feel like this was just for me, it was just as worse as it was the first episode. Like, I just remember thinking to myself, what is happening? And why is everyone just so welcoming?
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of things that kind of made me go, ugh.
Are you, Lena? You brought up a good point. Of, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So, Lena, the part that you brought up about, oh my God, Ollie. I was about to call him Kai, about Ollie not, like being interested in the technology that she kept talking about was so advanced. I thought that was, it was like almost like they retconned the last episode with how they shoehorned how obsessed with tech he is, and then in this episode he didn't even. Like, what an opportunity that was to pick her brain, and he totally didn't do it.
Right. That was something that kind of, that was another thing that made me go, Like, and this is just making me, this is literally just now happening.
Right. That was funny to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, what? That's a very good point. I will say this though. There are some things that they did introduce in this episode, kind of like with episode 11, that I did thoroughly enjoy. There are some things, like, for example, I love the training bit. The training bit was actually really cool. Anytime like we actually see the actors doing, their little shangalangs and doing their little thing, I love it. Like, I just love it. And I love the fact that Izzy won the game. Like, it's like, okay, girl, we know she's the most athletic one of the group. We know this. I mean, of course the girls are gonna win. Of course. So I did like that. I did like them training and kind of making it as a game. And I also loved that little bit that did actually play into the actual episode, which we saw it pop up again, was the dog food bit. Loved it. I actually loved that part of the fact that was smart.
So cute. That was so cute. I loved it. I love I was like, well, I guess that explains why my dessert turned out to be so hard.
Right, and she put out this dog bone. I was just like, oh my God, Solon, you are adorable. Which goes back to my main point of this episode, being like, I loved Solon and Slither. Like, they were just so great in this episode. So I love the whole dog food bit, which she used again, which she then was like, you're not from RAFCON, because if you were, then you would know that this is dog food and this is not regular food, unless you're some kind of cat lady or something. I mean, she was reading her for filth, honey, and I loved it. I'm like, yes, mama, right? Go off.
I love how quick she was. Off. She was like, you like it? Uh-huh, sure you like it. Of course you do, because you're not from RAFCON.
Okay, girl, reading. Reading is fundamental, and Solon is smart, honey. I said, go off, Solon. Like, I mean, I loved it. I just loved all of that. So for me, like that, anything that was dealing with Solon and Slither, I was in love with. Like, I loved all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And they made the episode for me. Like I really enjoyed that.
I honestly agree with you. Like they made the episode. I just feel like Solan just needs so much more lines. Like she needs like a whole episode dedicated to her. Like you know what I want to know? What she does when the Rangers are not at base.
Right. We need a Solan magical Christmas.
Like
Wow.
seriously. You know what? I can see her. Okay. I don't see her doing things for other people. Not necessarily that she's a bad dinosaur, but I see her like giving herself self-care first. I see herself giving herself like cucumber, like eye mask, covering her eyes. I see her resting her feet. I see her filing her nails. Like I see her doing all the girly things that she probably saw on TV and has no idea how to work it, but she wants to try it. And then I can see her being like, smooth skin. I would love to achieve that smooth skin. Let me try this. Let me try this facial face mask. Girl, I can see all
Oh my gosh. I would love to see
I
something
could
like
see
that happen.
You know? Like I can see her doing something like that. Not like the whole like, oh, let me help everybody. Let me just, be no, none of that. I can genuinely see her just doing things for herself and just trying the most random shit ever. Like I don't know, like
we do need this. I can see it in my head now. I could totally see Solan like laying in the bed with cucumbers on her eyes and her face completely white, and she's like listening to like Levi Weston. I can see it. I see it in my head.
Girl, she's watching Buzz Blast. She's watching Buzz Blast while they're introducing their latest skincare routine.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
The lip liner from episode 1. Yes. From episode 1. Yes.
Yes.
She's like, oh, I would like that. Ooh, yes. Let me see if Amelia still has any of those. Like, oh my God, yes. Yes, I see it. I see it.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, Hasbro, like whoever is in charge of this, send us our coin. Like, please.
I'm telling you, we have so many good ideas. Like, y'all have to get on us. Get on us. Oh my God. Right? But yeah, like those are such good ideas though. But no, like this episode I actually enjoyed. There were a lot of things that I really liked about this episode. And like I said, they mainly came from Solan and Slyther. But for the most part, the only thing that I just didn't like was the stuff dealing with Zato.
Yeah.
So much. And it's not so much that I just didn't like, I didn't like it. It was just kind of like, oh man, like really, dude, is this who we are? Like really, dude. So that was my only thing with this episode. McScary, what is it? Miss Scary Mansion or whatever that episode title is. I don't remember.
Okay.
Real quick, I just want to just go over it real fast. I don't know who came up with that title, but whatever.
Right.
So basically, this episode is about Pop. We got Pop back, and it's like, yay! I like Pop. Pop came back, and basically he was basically, he went to the manor, thought that there was a ghost, hauled ass, told Amelia. Amelia went there, to do her thing, and found out that it was a sporks beast instead. And this sporks beast has the ability to heighten people's emotions and make them render them basically useless. So before we get into it, things you like, things you didn't like, Lena.
I dislike the fact that they just haven't given Amelia a real ghost story. Like they brought it up, they made it seem like it's gonna be a great thing that's gonna be part of this whole season, and nada. And at one time we're about to actually get something possibly spooky enough, turns out to be a spork. Like,
well, you know what? Well, go ahead. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna put a pin in this. Go ahead.
Okay, because like I feel it could be a spork, but I feel like there could have been another ghost story that would have appeased to her and given us a monster. Maybe there was two entity there, a beast spork and an actual ghost. Because the mansion was named McScary for a reason. So What if they had a ghost being like, yo, Amelia, somebody's invading my home right now. Like, can you help? And she's like, whoa, a ghost? Of course I can help. Something stupid. I don't know. I'm just coming up with it on the spots. But like, something like that, right? Like I wish it had actually given to the paranormal more so. And so that was the thing I didn't like. There wasn't a lot of things I liked about this episode, but what I did like was the speech with Pop Pops at the end, where he, kind of gives an insight to taking care of Amelia and why he worries about her so much, and all that was a really sweet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I liked.
Okay, well,
what I liked was the legs only fight scene that Amelia did when she was wrapped up by the mummy sporks piece. I thought that was cool.
okay.
And what I didn't like, I'm going to piggyback off of Lena, just the lack of really delving into the creepiness, the scariness of having a ghost episode. I don't understand why, like the whole thing with it being a sporks beast, that's fine. That didn't bother me. Just it not actually being in any way spooky at all is what got me. And
Right.
what I'm thinking about of a spooky Power Rangers episode, another Lost Galaxy episode, the rescue mission, that was actually kind of spooky because it it took a trope that we've seen in films and movies of somebody being on a big vessel, big ship or something, and like a team of people, and then them getting picked off one by one by a monster or whatever. So like I once again, they did something right 20 years ago. They can't do it right now.
Yeah.
I would have loved if this was actually creepy, and then damn, even have the sporks be creepy when we find out that it's a sporks and not a ghost.
Right. Exactly. Even that I would take. Even that, like, you're absolutely right. Have Amelia go there. She goes missing. And then someone else goes. They go missing. I don't know. They trap somewhere. I don't know.
They didn't even have to do that trope. They could have just made, like, for me, really, they could have just made the episode creepy.
I agree. Have Amelia hear like creepy noise where she genuinely starts to believe that there is actually a ghost. Have things move.
Oh man, the part where the sporks had wrapped her with the
Bandages.
Bandages. Thank you. And then she's like running away from them. It reminded me of a horror movie, but nothing but leading up to that was suspenseful. So
That's real. I mean, I guess for me, like my thing that I like, they were actually. I guess for y'all are just like over it. For me, I actually like this episode a lot. Surprisingly, surprise. I actually like this episode. For the exact reasons why y'all didn't like it. I loved that. For the main thing that I loved is that there were so many nuggets in this episode, which can be that you can infer to what may happen or what may or may not happen. We don't know. In the actual season itself, like the actual show itself. Because when you first jump off the ship, like when you first come into the episode, you see Pop going through the house, and he talks about actually going to Area 62. Area 62 is where Void Knight is. Void Knight and the lady in the tank. That's where that is. Now, also, then further on, then you start talking about when he meets up with the Pink Ranger and he's talking to Amelia about Amelia. And he's like, oh, her parents disappeared. It's like,
oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So it's like, oh, what is this, honey? So, I'm like, okay, all right. So okay. So that was one of the things I loved about this episode is that they used this as a way to push the story. Like, and what I've noticed and what I've loved is that they've been using Amelia to tell the story of Dino Fury, not so much Zato. I mean, yes, Zato does have a part, but all of the meat and taters, it comes from Amelia. Because if you really think about it, on the very first episode, it's Amelia is telling the story from Amelia's point of view. Mm-hmm. So I think Amelia is going to be the main focal point of this show. It's not Zato. It's Amelia. This is Amelia's story. And I love the fact that they're using her love for the supernatural to tell the story. Mm-hmm. So I loved this episode for that. The one thing that I didn't so much care for me was the fact that, well, I didn't like the Jane part. Now, granted, yes, on social media, that was Jane actually doing her own stunts. That was Kira doing her own stunts, with the rig scene where she's being blown away. So I do appreciate it for that. But I just, it was just one of those things that I was just like, whatever, and that snowball that she threw, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, that thing was terrible. I was like, what? So yeah, was not feeling it. But for the most part, the entire episode up until that point, I was on board. Like, to me, easily that was the best episode of the three. 11 was the best episode of the three for me. I just loved it. From beginning to end, beginning to the part with Jane, I was all in. So yeah, that was mine. That was the things I loved and the things I didn't like. Now with that new revelation, because I know, Will, you are grouped and gagged over there. Like, what?
Right.
Talk to me. What's up? Talk to me.
So
Tell
you're
me.
making me think that. Mm-hmm. So you're making me think that potentially the lady in the tube could be Amelia's mom, and then I was thinking, oh my God, Void Knight could be her father.
Could be her daddy. Happy Father's Day.
That's crazy. Wow.
Happy Father's Day. Right. That girl might be fighting her daddy.
Right. Wow.
I swear if they did this would be very interesting.
Right? And that's the thing. And then, of course, she was the one to get the battleizer. She was the one to get the new armor. Oh, yeah. And lead and run the Zord by herself. Well, with the help
I
of
love that.
Javi, but yeah. Like, sis did everything. Like, she was running the ship on this episode, and I loved it. Like, I loved every moment of it. I'm like, yes, this is what we love to see, people. This is what we love. Like, I understand Red is, always in control. Red is always the lead. But damn, like, can we get somebody else every once in a while to do something? And Dino Fury did it.
And you know what? Mm-hmm. If they are doing what they're doing, like, this will be the first time we ever get a Pink Ranger really. Okay, aside from Jen. Mm-hmm. Jen was in charge, but Jen didn't get all the perks.
Right. Because West still got the battleizer.
Exactly. She didn't get all the perks. So before y'all, jump out, I understand that Jen did it too. But with Amelia, she got quite a bit of perks for literally not even doing half the shit that Jen did.
This is true. This is true. Listen, I am all for it. Like, I mean, I am all for female representation and, women getting their things. I am all for it. Like, and Dino Fury has been doing it. Like, Dino Fury is like, the women are about to run this shit. So if y'all women hating men don't like it, then too bad. Like Dino Fury is gonna give it to you, and I love it. Like I love every moment. I am such a fan. I am such a fan of this. So yeah, oh God, I'm just so excited for it for this episode. Like I said, I loved it. So I loved all of the now, what do you guys think of the having their whole little situation with the mood swings and stuff?
I thought that was interesting with Amelia, where she's like, I thought she was gonna say something like way more to Ollie than what she really did say. I thought she was gonna be like, I only did this because whatever, right? Like I like you or something like that. Because I want to prove to you that ghosts do exist and I like you and I want you to see that, my side. I don't know, something, right? Because I feel like she was always been very supportive of him and his technology, but I don't think he was ever really supportive of her and her ghost hunting situation.
Of course not.
So like
he's been like dogging her since episode 1. Like,
right. So I feel like
you idiot.
Right. So I feel like yeah. So I feel like I thought that was her way of like dead ass telling him that she likes him. And then that didn't happen. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, with Javi being as like as he was, I kind of saw that. So I was like, yeah, I could see it. I could actually see it, Yeah, I was here for it. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, like I definitely didn't like it. Oh, you didn't like none of the...
I didn't. It's too, I mean, oh God, I know that it's for kids, but it was just too kiddie for me. I thought it was over the top. It was too much for me.
Listen,
I am that Zato being lazy. I didn't like that. I really didn't like that.
Really? Wow. Listen, I enjoyed
all
of it.
Why I didn't like that one.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, the black guy being lazy.
Yeah. However, I have to say, in the cockpit where he says something like, explosions, action. This is so boring. That is exactly how I am when Megazord battles come on.
I was about to say, I thought you would have agreed with that because I sure did. I was like, yeah, he right.
Yeah.
I was like, he right. Yo, this crap is boring.
But
you are right.
Overall, like I said earlier, I would have loved if they would have leaned into the supernatural and the creepy for this whole episode. And they didn't. And it was just more of the kiddie light tone crap. And I just
You know what? I kind of have to disagree. And for normally I would agree with that. Normally I would most certainly agree with that assessment. For this particular episode, I have to disagree only because of the fact that the physical humor for me did not bother me. Like it was extremely physical. And it wasn't so much of the actors doing it, it was the stunt actors doing it. And I actually liked it. I thought it was hilarious, especially watching the Green Ranger, like watching her stunt double just like scurry around in the back of the cockpit and hide in the corner. I was busting my gut laughing. Like I thought that was one of the funniest things, just watching her just like cower in the corner, and she's like falling all over the Blue Ranger, just like falling all over the place, and he's trying to push her off, and it was just so funny to me. I don't know why, and I couldn't even concentrate on Amelia and Javi. I couldn't even concentrate on them because I'm hard down looking at the two in the back. So I don't know. Like I really liked it. I don't know. Like for me, it worked this episode, and I guess because this is the first one that we've gotten where they've been under a spell, in a sense. I don't know. Like it didn't offend me.
It
It
didn't
didn't affect
affect me
me.
either. And I think the other things too is that I agree with you. I think the whole thing with I forgot what their it's funny. I actually forgot what Zato's I guess emotions were, right? Like their heightened emotion, and along with
He's lazy. Yeah.
along with what's her face? Tessa's character.
Izzy?
Yeah, Izzy. I didn't know what theirs were. That's why I didn't really mention it. But now that you pointed out, I actually kind of agree with that. Like, and I like the fact that it wasn't like a simple like one of those like love spells that they always doing where the guy falls
Right.
for the monster kind of a thing, or they fall for the first thing they see, like or vice versa. At least it wasn't one of those things. So I was kind of glad that it wasn't none of that. It was just literally heighten what they genuinely want to feel.
Right.
Where they don't want to be lazy. And you know what? He could very well still want to be lazy, but I think he can't show that because he is the leader of this team. He can't show that he wants to be lazy. He can't show that he needs to like take a breather and just literally do nothing. He needs to hype it up for the team. He's that guy, And
So
the fact
it could be very exhausting,
right,
just being like constantly the
exactly.
leader like all the time. So I mean,
Exactly.
he's like, I want to take a break. And it just heightened that up. And it's just like
Exactly.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love that for him because you're absolutely right. Because like think about it, you just woke up a billion years later. You didn't get a chance to take in this new life that you're about to live, and you're battling sports and training a whole new team. Like
Yeah.
what? And then for Izzy, it was kind of nice to see her cowering because she's again like this seems like between the two siblings she's the stronger one. She needs to be the stronger one of the two of them. She needs to always be upfront and ready to go. So it's kind of
Right.
nice to see her be like, I'm kind of fucking scared of this shit. I don't want to do it, like bye. And having Hovey, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of see Hovey like just over exaggerating on.
Being like mad emotional.
Yeah, that's I was like, that was kind of a given. So
Yeah.
there's not much to explain in that department. Amelia, though, her being angry, and she wasn't even really angry. She was just
She was just
annoyed.
over it. Yeah, annoyed. Yeah.
And I'm
Hers
glad
was more
that
so I'm just annoyed with
right.
everybody.
And I'm glad because like again, she's always very preppy, very like, yeah, everyone, we can do it. As long as we do it together, we can do this. And so I'm glad that she's like, you know what? F this.
And deep inside, she's like, I hate all of you.
Right, exactly. Right.
Like,
And
I
I'm glad,
hate you all.
right? Especially you, Ollie, for not believing in me.
Right. Right.
Well,
So yeah, I agree. Like that was exactly what I took in, Lena. It was just like this, like it was almost kind of like even though I do think this was done better, but the episode where on Dino Thunder, where they got their inner personalities turned out by the asteroid. Kira became, super feminine. Ethan was like the macho man, and Connor was super smart. Like, it's almost kind of like that. And I enjoyed that. Like, it was almost kind of like that episode. And that was one of my favorite episodes of Dino Thunder. So yeah, I think that's the reason why I like this episode so much, because like it really did bring out the things that they hide, they try to hide from people. And I thought that was pretty cool.
I totally agree. So I really liked it overall. Like I think at the end of the day, I just kind of wish that they had given her a more of a spooky ending, like something, right? And just something so that Ollie, just so she can even say, see, look, Ollie, ghosts are real. And have Ollie kind of like recognize that even though he doesn't want to admit it, he does now acknowledge that there is something creepy. That there is another realm, And the other thing too that I thought was quite interesting for Ollie is the fact that he doesn't believe in the paranormal and he doesn't believe in, spirits and ghosts and all that stuff. He believes in science and tech, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we explain how he believes in Power Rangers?
I guess because Power Rangers have already proven themselves to exist in this world. So he's just like, Well, if ghosts haven't proven themselves yet, I don't believe in it. I don't know. Maybe that's the logic. I don't know.
You know, like, because I thought about it for a while. I'm like,
but yeah, that makes sense. It's like if we know that monsters exist, why is it so hard to believe that ghosts might exist?
Exactly. And I just remember thinking that, especially with the previous episode where he was all like gun ho on technology and how it's so great and all this jazz. And I remember thinking, okay, if you don't believe in, you know, ghosts and spirits and, you know, maybe the you know, the in between, the heaven, the hell, whatever you want to call it, but yet you believe in Power Rangers and monsters, you believe that what you're fighting is actually in front of you. Why is it so hard to believe the other stuff?
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I feel like the impossible has already happened. So
right,
it's not much harder to believe the rest of it.
I agree. I mean, it's just one of them things that's like, once again, it's almost kind of like that whole thing of like, Power Rangers exist? Like, I can't believe monsters even exist. And it's like, we're in the same world. Like, we're not in an alternate universe. So how is it this difficult to believe that monsters exist and we already know that Power Rangers exist? Like, what?
Yeah. So I'm very shook on that. I'm surprised Amelia didn't even ask him that, because I feel like this season of Rangers, they seem to be very true and upfront to what's real. Like,
right.
They call each other on real stuff, you know. So I'm surprised that she hasn't called them all on that. Like, you know, I'm just surprised, you know.
No, that's real. I mean, there's still time. There's still time.
Oh my god.
But so let's rate them. Let's rate them. So Lena, go first. Like, what do you think? From 9, 10, and then 11, what do you think?
9. Okay. Oh, from 9, 10, and 11. Okay. Individually, I want to give the first 2 episodes 2, and the last one I want to give it 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's real.
Will? What about you, Will?
I'm gonna give all 3 2. Who was it? For the second episode, that one was the Zeta one. Solon seeing her being able to fight, that was really cool, but it wasn't enough to boost up the score. And then I really liked, in the last one, oh my goodness, Pop and Amelia having the heart-to-heart when Amelia was morphed, and him explaining why he's protective over her, and us getting, backstory for her parents and their relationship. And then also her apologizing to him and them having a moment at the end. Even though I love those scenes, that wasn't enough to boost the score either. There was just I already talked about what I didn't like, and those reasons were, big enough for me to just have to give these episodes lower scores. I'm really hoping that the next few are going to be better than this.
That's real. I understand. Like, I get both of you. You know, I understand completely. Y'all are not gonna be. Y'all may disagree with my scores, but I mean, for me, episode 9, I agree. It's definitely a 2 for me. Episode 10, however, I am gonna go to a 3. It was very middle of the road for me. I was like, oh, okay, all right. It was cute. We had fun. I loved all of the stuff with, you know what? No, I'm gonna give it a 4. I love the Solon and Slither stuff so much. And they really carried this episode for me, like, so much. So I'm gonna give it a 4. And for me, the last one, I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm gonna give it a 5. All because it sets up so much in the future of the show, for me, it sets up a lot. And I'm just like, there was just so many revelations and so many nuggets that just made me go, what? Like, I'm just like, oh, the brain is ticking, bitch. The brain is ticking. Like, it did the things for me. Now, obviously, there are some things, obviously, that could be worked on. I mean, hell, it's Power Rangers. The whole franchise can be worked on, right? But, but at the end of the day, like, it served its purpose. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. And especially if they're teasing, a major plot point, this episode did exactly that. And I'm like, I'm here for it. I love it. So, and the fact that the whole story seems like it's centered around Amelia, mwah, love it. So, you know what? I'm here for it. So yeah, 2, 4, 5. Netflix, episode 12 is coming soon to Netflix. There's no time or date yet. But it is coming. So
maybe we'll get the Gold Ranger like everyone keeps asking for.
Don't do that. Because I promise you, everybody is asking, is the Gold Ranger going to be in this next episode? And I'm like, girl, I don't know.
I know. I see it. That's why I'm laughing. That's why I'm making a joke.
I feel like they're going to build that up because I feel like they're going to build it up because that's a big deal to introduce a Six Ranger.
Right. And the first ever black one at that. Like, they're going to milk that thing.
Yeah, I would hope that it doesn't just happen in the next episode. I would think that, the Rangers have to kind of be like beaten down or something like that. Like something dramatic has to happen to
kind of like with Dino Charge, the Gold Ranger, how they set that up.
Yeah.
Because it was multi-episodes before they finally shown us that it was Ivan instead of Tyler's dad. Like, it was a whole thing.
Like, I don't want them to do the way they did it with Levi for Ninja Steel. Like, it was like, boom, Gold Ranger. Hi.
Yeah, and plus they introduced him both times with both Beast Morphers and Ninja Steel. Like, they just kind of threw the Gold Ranger in like really fast and got it open.
Yes.
So yeah, I would most certainly be like, yeah, can we kind of tell the story?
Right. I agree. But for all of you listeners out there, we do not know if the Gold Ranger is coming. So please do not keep asking us. We will inform you on Instagram when we find out.
And we will also keep you abreast of all the news going forward, and because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing else that needs to be said, my name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
And I'm Will.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.